Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play AGEOD's Civil War. Here we are in the next turn, and I think at this point I'm finally going to talk about some of the big picture stuff that's going on in my thought process up till now. We've done a lot of tutorial stuff where I was showing you guys the game mechanics, and I avoided talking about overall strategy up till now, but I think I've gone over enough game mechanics that talking about strategy now is pretty appropriate. It might be a good idea. So I alluded to it a bit in the last video, I believe. Uh, my strategy here, maybe it's a little bit unorthodox. It's not quite like it was in the real Civil War. But when I sent 4 whole divisions down here to take New Orleans, and I raised 4 divisions to give to Lyon to use in Arkansas, my goal with that was hopefully to have Lyon march his troops through here across the Mississippi into the center of Mississippi and have Hooker move his troops up here into central Mississippi. So I'll have a whole bunch of troops sort of on the loose in the middle of the Confederacy here. That's my goal. The effect of my having done that, raising so many divisions over here and sending some of them over here, is that my military strength in this area from Kentucky and this line all the way to Washington, D.C., I'm spread a little thin here. I have 11 divisions here in the east and 6 in Kentucky, and I'm hoping that'll be enough to sort of hold this line. I'm going to be playing a sort of a defensive battle here. Uh, just trying to hold the line with the troops I have. Maybe I'm hoping to take Lexington, but I don't really have much hope of pushing further than that in the near future because I have so many troops tied up here in the west and in the south. So that's my goal. We're going to find out over the course of 1862 if I've left enough troops around here to fight back the Confederates, who I imagine will be trying to attack in these directions. I need to try to push them back. So that's my overall strategy. So I've had this in mind throughout the whole game, especially during that turn where I raised 155 brigades. I raised them in the areas that I did in order to set up this strategy. So then this is not the only strategy you can follow in this game, obviously. You can mass a lot of troops in Kentucky and try to march into Tennessee, or you can mass troops over here in southern Illinois, like in real life, Grant had a lot of troops and take Paducah and Forts Henry and Donelson and try to move down the Mississippi towards Memphis and Corinth. Or you can mass a lot of troops in the east and try to do the on to Richmond thing. Um, you could try any of those things, but I'm trying sort of a western, southern strategy, aiming to get into the middle of Mississippi. That's what I'm doing here. I think this is a fun strategy to try to use. And I'm sure there are plenty of other strategies that people can come up with. So that's what's going on. Let's focus in on this turn now. Here in the east, I've put together 5 more divisions here in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to let them sit for a moment while we see where the Confederacy is going to attack. It looks like Joe Johnston might be heading off towards Grafton right now, so I may end up sending, I don't know if you heard that, but my fiance is feeling goofy today. I may end up sending a good portion of these divisions off towards this area next turn, if this is where the Confederates want to try to attack. This is sort of the soft underbelly right now here in West Virginia. I have very few troops defending this area. So if the Confederate tries to attack here, I'm going to have to pull some of these divisions over to West Virginia and let this be the great northern battlefield of the game. I try to beat him back here while I try to get Lyon and Hooker organized. So I'm not moving any troops there in the east this turn. Just going to let everybody be, let my defenses sit in Harper's Ferry, and let my defenses sit in Alexandria, and wait and see what develops. I have 1 division plus the Irish Brigade here in Pittsburgh. So here in Kentucky, Buell is still trying to cross the Ohio, and Grant is still trying to cross over here. The reason why this is taking so long, I believe, if I hover over all these regions, you can see the weather is mud. It's the springtime. I guess the spring rains hit, so all these regions are covered in mud, and it's hard to move through. So Buell's Could take them a while to get here. Grants could take them a while to get here. And when they get there, their cohesion is going to be low because all the troops are going to be tired from slogging through all the mud. So when they arrive in their destinations, I imagine they'll have to rest for a bit. This muddy weather, I assume, or hopefully, is going to clear up within a couple turns, and hopefully the weather will clear and we'll be more free to move more quickly and move forward for more battles. So that's all that's going on in Kentucky. Here under Franz Sigel, I left one division here in Louisville to defend Louisville. You can see here on the river, Nathan Bedford Forrest's small division, looks like it's about 100 strength, is moving along the Ohio. I don't really know where he's going. He could be heading for Cincinnati, where I have some defenses set up. I think they can fight him off. But in all these little towns, I don't have much. So we'll see where he's going. Doesn't appear to be a very strong force, but it's a very strong general. So he could cause some trouble. And here's that force that just took Evansville. They may move up and take Vincennes next turn. I can't really stop them, but that's why Buell is coming back. He'll cross river, rest, and hopefully fight these guys back. Let's see. Here in the Missouri area, here's my stack of troops that's heading down to join line. It's going to take him many turns to get there. Let's see if we can make a division. Yeah, here we go. Jefferson C. Davis is active, so we can make his division. So let me select, I think I'm getting this right, sharpshooter, a heavy artillery, 212s, and 2 10-pound artillery. There you go, there's his division. So we've got 2 of these 3 divisions formed. All these troops will make a division for Sam Curtis once he becomes active. And we got many turns to wait for him to become active as they all walk down to join line. Van Dorn's still down here, not a terribly strong force. He's no threat to Fort Smith with this 500 strength division dug in there. But I'm going to wait to attack him until all the reinforcements arrive. Finally, down here in New Orleans, here's Joe Hooker. He is sitting on top of Fort St. Philip. It looks like we got a breach. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little circle there that corresponds to how the siege is going, and the red color of it means that we got a breach. So put him on assault, let him take that fort next turn. Hopefully that works out. I think that's it for this turn. Let me pause it. I'll run the inner turn, come back if there's a battle. Hold tight, guys. Okay, so here's the Battle of Fort St. Philip. It looks like we managed to take it. Small losses on their side, a bit more than us. And the fort is ours, so that's good news. Here, I'll pause it and continue with the inner turn. Alright guys, we're back. Here we are in the next turn. There were no battles besides that one at Fort St. Philip. So here in the east, let's just dive right into this. Things look pretty quiet. However, if I hover over Winchester, you'll see that the Confederacy has an army there. Looks like its power is more than 2,500. So that's pretty frightening. Fortunately, we have this corps here, power of about 1,900, defending Harper's Ferry. So let them attack. We'll probably be able to defend that area with what's there. Not much is going on. There's no threat for Alexandria, it appears. But here's Joe Johnston. He's sort of loose in West Virginia here, and I think I'm going to need to do something about him. So I set up this corps here in Washington, D.C. with 4 of the divisions I showed you last turn that I had put together there. And I'm going to send him off to Pittsburgh, railroad him up there. It's going to cost a lot of railroad points, but nothing I can do about it. So hopefully we'll have Keyes see if he can't take care of Johnston up in that area and push him out of there. I'm only leaving 1 division plus some assorted units here in Washington, D.C., but I have units being raised up here in New York that I clicked on last turn to create 2 more divisions here. So in a couple of turns, my forces here will be strong, plus the force here, plus the force here. So I feel like Washington, D.C. will be defended enough for the moment. So that's the east. That's Joe Johnston. Here we have what appears to be a small cavalry force moving up this river. Is this still the Ohio? Whatever the heck it is. I wish I knew my geography better. I apologize for that. So he may be a little bit of an annoyance. We'll see where he goes. Nathan Bedford Forrest's command is still sitting in the Ohio. I don't really know why. Maybe he tried to land, but my forces in the area stopped him from doing that. Buell has arrived where I sent him, but his cohesion's low, so I'll let him rest. Grant has arrived. His cohesion's low, so I'll let him rest. Looking into Lexington, they have quite a big army there of power over 1,000. Grant's command has a power of right now 762 with their cohesion low, but I don't think it's more than 14 or 1,500 when they get fully rested. So I don't think right now I could assault Lexington. I'd lose, even though I have more power than them. In the Civil War, defensive actions were highly favored. These guys can sit in their entrenchments and just destroy me as I come in. So if I wanted to attack, I would need overwhelming force, and I don't have that right now. So this guy's still sitting in Evansville. I'm hoping Buell will help take care of him in a moment. Rosecrans has popped up. This is a 3-star general. I'm going to send him off to Buell's command, railroad him over there. Rosecrans is slightly better general than Buell, in great part because Buell has a trait that's the slow mover trait. And since I want this stack to be playing zone defense, I'd rather not have that trait. So I'm probably going to send Rosecrans there. And once he's there, I'll send Buell back to Louisville and let Rosecrans lead that stack. Here in the west, we have an army here, Confederate Army moving up. We only have one division defending St. Louis. Hopefully that's enough. I can't see what this army's made up of yet. So we'll see where he goes. I think he's outside the Confederate supply chain, but he may be banking on taking Rollo with its depot and eating the supplies there. So we'll see what he does. I'm just going to have the division sit in St. Louis and defend for the moment. Down here are our troops continuing to head down and join Lyon. Meanwhile, there's a Confederate irregular force here in the woods. I'm going to keep letting these guys travel, and hopefully that Sumner's command with his cavalry is enough to make sure this guy doesn't cause too much trouble. So I'm leaving everything here in place for the moment. Sam Curtis is still not activated, so we still can't make him his division. Hopefully maybe next turn. Finally, we took Fort St. Philip. We took it and captured this garrison force, so I'll put them inside the fort. Ooh, there you go. So they'll defend there, just like we have the force defending Fort Pike. And I'm going to take Hooker and try to cross the Mississippi with him. Looks like it'll take 2 turns. His cohesion is fine, so it's just because it's swampy area and he's crossing the Mississippi. And one important thing to note is that this Mississippi crossing, I believe, is covered by the guns in Fort Jackson. So Hooker may try to cross, and he may fail and retreat to Fort St. Philip. So we may find out 2 turns from now. We go here, expect him to be in this region, but he's not. He's back here because he got foiled by the guns in Fort Jackson. Well, we'll find out when the time comes. Hopefully he'll make the crossing. If he doesn't, we'll just keep trying until he does. Usually it doesn't take more than a couple tries to cross, even under the guns of the fort. So here, let me pause it. I think that's it, and I'll do the inner turn and let you know if there's any battles. All right, folks, that's the end of that inner turn. So I'll end this video here. We'll pick up in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.